definitely towards the autumn or the winter of his career, but still very experienced. One more look at this effort from the keeper. Great, spectacular athleticism. Look at this.
Oh, right off the fingertips. Great effort. But yeah, I was talking about captains, and you were saying how important it is in this sport. And in basketball, I think it's important that the captain is like one of the best players on the team. It doesn't have to always be like that, but I think in general, like on the Spurs, we had Tim Duncan, one of the all-time legendary, probably a top 10 player all-time in the sport of basketball, and he just set the tone for everyone. The coach could coach him. He would hold everybody accountable. It's like that's an all-time legend. If he's, doing X, Y, and Z, I better be doing that too.
Yeah, you better be on it with him. Yeah, Malin loves left arm spin. Wonder or suspect he'll take it on pretty soon, but for now he's happy to check it down for a single. In cricket, it's a little bit different because the strategy of the game is so advanced. People have described it as chess on a field. Chess in a 360-degree, massive playing field in conditions that can differ so wildly from country to country. As Sheikh goes down the ground, that's going to be 6. That's
over the
perfect place to hit, and it's going to go all the way. 6 runs to the total.
Yep, they're going to have a hard time finding that ball. Again, we got to look up what road that is back there.
We got Dufferin to the left.
Sign. Watch out for cricket balls. Look at that thing.
You can see it. Brilliant ball followed by Jeremy up there on the top of the tower, and the ball is indeed lost.
The camera guy with the umbrella up there had to duck.
But that's where I think something Nepal haven't done particularly well is target straight down the ground, because that's at this venue where you get good rewards. So again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we've got 57-meter boundary straight down the ground from the north end. There's Jeremy up there. Give us a wave, Jeremy. Yes. Come on, there you are. Great job up there, my man. And then we've got 65-meter square boundaries, so that's 65 out towards the Dufferin Street Road, so for Asif Sheikh to his leg side. And then 60 metres to the offside where the fans are, and then it's about 60 metres back up towards us at the pavilion end. But just to answer your question a bit more about the captaincy, because you need to have a advanced tactical minds and really be thinking about the game, sometimes the best players aren't actually particularly good captains, and sides get kind of lulled into that. They're like, oh well, we've got to make him the captain because he's such a good player, but then he takes it on and strategically he's not very good. I'm not going to name names, but there's been lots of instances of it over the years, and actually I think for me Oman might have maybe fallen into that trap a little bit, because Akib Ilyas is probably their best player by a distance, but Zishan Maqsood probably has their best cricketing brain, and Zishan Maqsood was replaced as captain by Akib Ilyas in April, just ahead of their World Cup appearance. So what we've ended up with is maybe a little bit of a drop-off in the quality of strategical thinking from an Omani end, and I know Akib Ilyas will consult with Zishan Maqsood a lot, but it's a bit different. You want that one solo leader.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. I think when those two things align, it creates a synergy in that position, is all I'm saying. For sure, like if your best player doesn't have the sport IQ to execute strategies and be a leader.
And as you've seen, cricket is such a complicated game. There's so many facets to it.
Yep.
You talk about the matchups, the left-handed bowlers, right-handed bowlers, which side of the wicket you're going to come, whether you're going to have
so many variables.
A fast bowler or a spin bowler, whether you're going to bowl wrist spin or finger spin. And that's, I guess, for those that get into cricket, that's why they find it so fascinating. And I'll tell you something, no two games are the same. They really aren't.
That's for sure.
So Mala continues to be cautious. A little surprising, he often takes on the left-arm spinners, but it will get us to the halfway stage. Nepal have a platform. Can they capitalise upon it? With 10 bowled, we will have the first drinks break of the first innings. Nepal were inserted to bat, and they have got, at the halfway stage, to 65 for 2.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Azad! TD, ready for you.
Well, we've got an exciting game of cricket on our hands here, don't we, Matt? And I see you've gotten your nickname as well.
Another nickname.
Another nickname,
My
exactly.
Wikipedia page is just, it's going to be off the chain. But a tremendous honor. I really appreciate all the support from the fans from Nepal that have been relayed to me from Lenny.
What is the nickname again?
What's that?
Yeah, what is the nickname again?
I don't want to mispronounce it.
Lambu Dai, right?
Yeah,
Lambu Dai, that makes sense. Because Lambu's tall.
Yep.
Tall brother.
I'm glad I asked because I'm Red Mamba. Kobe Bryant gave me the nickname Red Mamba, so I was thinking Mambu, but it's Lambu. So I didn't want to butcher
different
that.
regions altogether.
Yes, for sure.
That's the amazing thing about cricket and sport in general, isn't it? There's just so many cultures that you come across, especially into. I love what NBA is doing in terms of growing the sport globally. I don't actually remember her name, but she works with the NBA currently. She was also involved with the Toronto Raptors. She helps with the development of the game globally. You may or may not know her, but when the name comes to me, I'll let you know.
Okay, is it Teresa?
It could be.
Yeah, Teresa Resch? Yes.
Yes,
She used to work for actually NBA International Operations with my sister, and then came over to the Raptors. And yeah, has done a lot to grow the game here in Canada and all over the world. It's really become a global game. You look at how many international players play in the NBA and how many have won MVPs, made all-star teams, and it's translated into FIBA, which is the international governing body for basketball in terms of the World Cup and the Olympics. It's made it really exciting. It used to be like, for sure, the U.S. is just going to blow everybody out, but now it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how cricket evolves over the coming years with the expansion of the new professional league here in North America. And you mentioned just how fast it's growing here in Canada, and now joining the Olympics, the next Olympics. I think that's really going to put a spotlight internationally on the game.
Well, it's Akib Ilyas, the skipper, who's going to come in with the ball for Oman. 65 for 2 at the halfway point. Nepal are going to feel quite comfortable with the start.
And honestly, like, as someone new to the sport, the preconceived notion of cricket to the average sports fan in North America is like, well, I'm not going to watch it for a whole day or 2 days or 3 days. So this format, I think, is huge.
Cutaway, and it is in the gap. There's some work to do for both fielders.
Ooh,
and just the outfield a little heavy there. Ball slowing down about 2 feet short of the boundary. You know, cricket's changed quite a bit in the last decade or so. The introduction of the T20 version, the shorter versions, made it, well, just so much more marketable, especially in regions like North America where they're used to the shorter format of sport. Well, that's gone up in the air. Fielder getting under it, and a comfortable catch. That's going to be the third wicket for Nepal, and it's Kushal Malla. Big moment this for Oman, especially after the decent start that Nepal have had. Arif Sheikh, he goes for 25 off 20 deliveries. He got the start in, opening batter for today. Good stand.
Yep, just a few feet short there. I mean, almost kept it going. You see him get down on one knee, scoop it up, just didn't quite have the distance. That would be a warning track catch, as we'd say in baseball, right up against the boundary.
Well, difficult to judge those as well because the rope is right behind you and you don't want to step on the rope because if you do, that's the end of you. And we're just going to wait on getting our graphics taken care of because it is, in fact, Kushal Malla. Sorry, it is, in fact, Asif Sheikh who's gone. I was just getting back to that point about how the game has grown. We've got a lot of franchise cricket in pockets all over the world, similar to the big league that you were talking about coming here in North America. What it means is players from all around the world are now getting the chance to play in teams with players that you wouldn't necessarily expect to. It's Rohit Paudal out to the middle. And the skipper is off the mark with a single.
Yeah, that's important. Being able to play with top competitors. Take a look at that replay. Just a little bit short. Teaches you where you are and like what you need to do to get to that level. And you don't know unless you play against people like that. Like if you're isolated in a pocket and you're the best player, then you just think you're the best player, and then you go play at a higher level like this against some of these guys, and you're like, oh, actually, I'm not that good. This is what I need to get better.
Exactly. You know? And competition, you need to be playing against better competition to keep yourself improving as well. Yep. In fact, it's been a big game changer for the associate world. The associate players are now getting exposure to the top level athletes. Beautiful grip there. Just gripping off the surface, taking the ball away from the right-hander. It's going to be the end of the 11th over. Nepal 73.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
It's going to be Ayan Khan coming in with the ball. And just going back to that point of the competition and how the franchise setup has really changed cricket for the associate world. There's a lot of the top level athletes from the full members come in and fill the sides. He's gone big and he's gone all the way. 6 more runs here, and it's Kushal Malla.
That was an absolute shot right there. Deep ball, easy 6. Nepal getting things going offensively here.
When it's good to see that the wicket has not slowed them down here. Ayan Khan into some pressure, giving some width on offer. And Kushal Malla did well to dispatch that. There was a fielder as well at cow corner, just a little wide of him, but the height well over his head. Some good looking shots today.
So what you're describing with the franchise players getting the top tier players, with that, like in basketball terms, that would be the equivalent of, you know, a league starting in Nepal and they're going to get an NBA player.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly that. So the full members fill up quite a few of the spots, and then you've got the associates who then fill up the rest of them, and the hosting country will get the rest of the spots. But what it means is it's incredible, especially for the associate players who've now gotten the exposure to play with and against high-level athletes, some of the best in the world. It's actually upped the game of the associate world altogether.
Oh, I bet.
And the other thing that T20 cricket's allowed is it's just expanded into a lot of countries that you wouldn't have necessarily seen cricket in. Oh dear, that's going to go down as a missed chance. Cut away, uppish. And really a half attempt there at a catch. Just needed half an inch more of a jump, and I think he would have been in contention of that wicket.
Yeah, it looked like he let up a little bit. Like he could have gone after a little bit harder. I mean, that's the third one they probably should have caught that we've seen so far this match.
Yeah, they've not done themselves favors here, Oman, in the field. 2 definite drop catches. That one I'm going to call a drop catch as well. 3 chances put down in this innings so far. And you really have to take these chances at this level of the game. Well, swept. and swept all the way. That's 6 runs. In fact, it just misses going over that fence in the deep. It is a party here, and the Nepalese fans are enjoying the show that their players are putting on.
Yeah, they're heating up. Took out the no-frills tent there. Don't you want to make the sponsors mad? But incredible angle here. We haven't seen many like this with that distance. Just gets down, pulls it kind of behind him, up over the fans, into the no-frills tent.
Well, slog swept beautifully by Kushal Malla. Expensive over this from Ayan Khan. We'll finish with a dot ball. It's going to be the end of the 12th, 85 for 3.
All new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into.